Hi guys, it's Michael. This is video number 11 and let's get started. First we got Rona in the background over there. She blends in with the blanket, and then Roxy's right there. They think I'm weird. They're probably right too. Okay, um, today we're going to talk a lot about nutrition and various things. Again, but I want to bring up, I like to bring up some family stories from time to time because they're comical and at the same time, um, I had a cool family. So this is about my grandmother, my Sicilian grandma that we called Nanny. When I was a young kid, um, Nanny knew how bad my acne was on my face. So my face was like a cheese pizza. In fact, it was so bad, my mom had taken me to the doctor and they put me on tetracycline, which caused my teeth to yellow because that's what that drug does. And I'm sure it did help my acne, but it was bad. It was embarrassing. I had it a lot on my face. And it was during my, like 14, 15, 16 years old, and my grandma, she was so funny. She was quite the hipster back in the day. And so Nanny would say to me, she would say, someday when you get married, your acne will go away. And I used to think, how does that work? How does my acne go away once I get married? And then she would say, your father had acne, and once he married your mother, the acne went away. So, of course, I knew as a kid she was talking about sex. Well, um, this is embarrassing for my daughters, but not I. But they're old now. Old. They're in their 30s, so they can handle this. But I was already having sex when Nanny used to scold me like this. So I used to always want to say, but Nanny, I'm getting laid, okay? And I still have acne. So now what can you come up with? Well, anyway, I just had to get that out there because that's always in the back of my head how funny she was. All right, so let's move on. Before we really get into the details of what I want to talk about today, um, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a nutritionist. So what you have to do is take what I say, make it work for you, experiment, keep your mind open like I've always said. You have to keep your mind open. Otherwise, none of this it's all bullshit then, okay? So it absolutely is working for me. And it doesn't mean that it will work for you personally. Everybody's DNA is made differently, so it's trial and error. All you can do is try. And there are so many good things out there that you can do, okay? So I've showed you a few things I do, and I'm going to show you a few more. When I make my protein shake in the morning, it is like the biggest shake in the world. It's actually two full shakes. I have a Ninja blender, which I didn't bring out here to show you, but it's a huge blender. It's called a Ninja. It works fantastic if you're going to put seeds and nuts and things in there like I do to grind up, especially the pumpkin seeds and the apricot seeds and things. So the first thing I do now, these protein, the stuff that I show you, you don't have to buy this brand or anything, but I get this from Trader Joe's. Everybody has their own thing on protein and protein shakes and what they feel and what they think they should be doing. HIV robs the protein in your body, so you need protein, especially that I'm only on fish and I don't eat any meat. Fish has good protein also, but I always make sure my body's full of protein. So I use this powder. I'm just partial to vanilla, and it's got so many good things on it. And then I mix the whey with it. I also use whey. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you the differences. You can look this up yourself. and find out the differences. But once I put whey in my diet, I also sleep a lot better too. So whey has a calming sensation of some kind. Also, when of course, I do no dairy, so almond milk, and remember, see where it says unsweetened. You don't want any artificial sweeteners in there whatsoever, okay? It's all bad for you. Whatever's artificial is exactly that word, artificial. So it's made up, it's man-made, it's chemicals. Gluten-free. I'm pretty close to 100% gluten-free probably at this point. I'm not 100% though. I do cheat on a couple things, so I probably run about a 95%. It's made a huge difference in my life, being more or less gluten-free. Read about gluten. Some people do need it though. Okay, the other thing I mix in my protein shake is berries. Now I buy them fresh and I buy them frozen. I buy both kinds. It depends on what's on sale and stuff. And this just happens to be a bag of frozen ones that I have to show you. But I do buy organic and non-organic. If you don't buy organic, then you should wash them off with cold water and make sure the pesticides are off. But even though some of the packaging says been washed already, okay, don't believe everything you read. Pumpkin seeds, raw pumpkin seeds. Not cheap, about $7 a bag. The benefits are unbelievable. Google this, Google raw pumpkin seeds. And I put a handful, like a half a handful, like a teaspoon or a couple teaspoons of this in my protein shake and blend it in there. These are good to eat even dry without putting them in the shake. They're unsalted. You don't ever want to buy the salted ones, which they do sell because they're packed with sodium. So stay away from the fucking sodium. It's one of the worst things for you, okay? So, and once you get used to having no sodium items, your taste buds completely change, and you will be okay. Trust me, it is okay. The other things I do eat a lot of vegetables, but I also supplement it with the green powder. If you look at the back of this label, which has got tons of nutrition and things in it, it's just a backup because I do eat my fresh greens, okay? But I buy that, and then I use the Red Drink, another one. It has all the probiotics in it. This is amazing stuff. If you read the labels and read the back of it, this is another backup that I use, kind of like some guy that's on a high wire and there's a net behind them. So I try to eat the best way I can, but I also do these things too. And then one of the main things I do for inflammation, because any kind of disease, the inflammation is what hurts, and especially for my back, for the HIV vascular myelopathy that I have, that is total inflammation. And the things I do it for my back. So like this cinnamon, you see that says Ceylon. This is fantastic stuff. So is turmeric. Turmeric is also really, really, really good. And I've used both. I've used the turmeric, and then I've used this, and I actually stopped using the turmeric because this made more difference. But again, I'm not saying anything bad about the turmeric, because whatever works for me may not work for you, okay? On the cinnamon, I put 2 teaspoons in my protein shake, and it's really good. It's really good on if you do a sweet potato and you bake a sweet potato. I don't use butter on that, and sweet potatoes have so much good ingredients for you. But I sprinkle the sweet potato with the cinnamon too, so it adds some taste and it's healthy. Everything I just showed you has no side effects. Instead of taking the drugs that the doctors want you to do, which have all side effects. So the choice is yours. You just have to make up your mind. Also, something that I do on a regular basis, but sometimes the stores are out of them, is a simple avocado. I eat an avocado a day. And man, back in the day, I've always liked avocado, but back in the day, I'd cut it open and spread it on wheat toast that was full of gluten, and then salt the hell out of it. Boy, talk about a catch-22. So the avocado itself is probably the best damn fruit in the world. If you read about avocado and the benefits it does for you as a person, it's unreal. It really is a superfood, okay? So now I just cut it open and I take a spoon. Of course, I take out the seed, and actually the seed's good to eat if you can grind it. It's healthy for you. But I just eat it with the spoon plain, with nothing on it. And my taste buds have completely changed, and now I look forward to my avocado every day. So read about avocado and the benefits. So I just want to say the things that I do are easy for me at this point in my life. It won't be easy for you in the beginning, because it's all this stuff I showed you. If you compare that to an In-N-Out double with fries and a vanilla shake or a chocolate shake, it's not going to taste the right way. But it takes time for your taste buds to change. And once you appreciate what the healthier food does for you and how you feel versus how you feel after you eat a double, doubles are satisfaction while you're eating it. But 20 minutes later, I'm sorry, you're probably on the fucking pot shitting. And you're shitting stuff out that shouldn't be in your body because your body's rejecting it. The healthier you eat, I don't know how I got into the bathrooms and stuff, but the healthier you eat, the more your body retains, so it doesn't throw out. It's just mind over matter, as we talk about all the time, but you have to stay strong in doing this. It's not easy. It is not easy to be different, and I'm going to share something with you, and it's personal, but these videos are to help everyone. I feel so much like I'm alone sometimes. I really do. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of family. I have a lot of people following these videos that I get asked questions about all the time. So you would think that I shouldn't feel alone, but I really do, because I live in my own world. I live in my world, and maybe sometimes I may seem selfish to some people because I can't do certain things like I used to, and some people can't understand that. They either won't understand it, or they really can't understand my way of living now. And I am alone sometimes. The only companions I really have are my two dogs, because most people, when you eat and do the things I do, the weird stuff and coffee enemas and just eating all this stuff and not being in the norm, as they say. I'm not a sheep. I don't follow in the line. I don't listen to people. I wouldn't say that I'm rebelling of any kind. I'm just trying to live. I'm just trying to extend my life. I've put my HIV into remission. I'm doing everything I can to be here for a lot longer, because I actually love life and I love living. So a lot of people don't care about themselves the way I do either. So, but it is an isolated world. So if you do start doing this, and then you get invited to go out to dinner, and you get invited to go to people's houses for parties, they have the party trays, everything's lined up, all the crap, all the stuff you buy at any of the grocery stores, you have trays of food that are nothing but crap. And then that's set out, and then you have a couple cocktails, and then everybody's in a party mode, and then your stomach growls, and it's really easy just to go off of your program. And once you go off your program, it's almost like I will go as far as saying it's almost like an addiction, because once you go off your program, it's really hard to go back on it. So the best thing that you can do if you do start this, do everything in your willpower. Do everything in your willpower to stay on it. And that is the hardest thing to do, to be honest with you. The other part is all this stuff I just showed you. It's really expensive. Okay, so the cinnamon is like 25 bucks. Okay, and that lasts like a month. These are $20 each. Okay, they don't last too long. The protein powders, one's like 13, the other one's like $30. Okay, pumpkin seeds, the almond milk, apricots, all the things I do is expensive. So it's really, really strange. If you don't see results right away, it's really hard for us as a human nature. Our nature doesn't allow this, our mind to think right, because if we don't see results right away and we're spending all this money, we question it. So this stuff takes time to work in your system and for your body to adjust to. So you have to be patient. That's another thing. Your patience is your best friend, because these things do work, and they will work on you if you allow it to have some time. But we want instant gratification. That's how we're raised in this country. This is how we're raised as little kids. We want instant success. We want instant everything. That's why there's so many fast food places. We want instant food. We want convenient food. We don't care what's in it. Most people don't. They buy it for convenience. They buy it because it's right now. You don't have to wait and make it fresh. So all this stuff, it's frustrating at times, because I've bought in a lot of expensive things that I don't see any change in me whatsoever. So it's kind of like a waste of money, but it's not, because it's your life. That's why it's not a waste of money, because you're doing something that the other people aren't and aren't trying. The other, I guess it depends on if you want quality of life or not. In my situation, I've repeated this story quite a few times. You're probably sick of it, but when you're bound in a wheelchair and you can't hardly walk, and I'm gonna say it, I used to shit myself. Okay, I used to wear rubber, well, not rubber, but vinyl jogging pants, because I couldn't trust myself during the day, and I would have accidents, and I would have to wheel back from the park with my mobility scooter, and then get up the stairs, and then get in the shower, and it was horrible, because I was losing control of my bowels because of all the meds that I was on. I wasn't eating right. Things weren't going good, so my quality of life was in the gutter. And I never, ever wanted to die, and there was never a time that I wanted to give up. It was a struggle at times, and I used to think, is it worth it? Is it worth it for me to go through this? And yeah, it was worth it, because when I would see my kids, and especially when Ava, my granddaughter, was born, it made me want to really, really, really try. It made me want to try even harder, because I wanted to be around. It was too precious of a time for me to give up. I guess people don't like it when I say I'm sorry that I'm emotional and sensitive, but I don't mean to do this. I am proud of what I've done. But anyway, okay, enough of the crying. But when you see, a lot of people don't have what I have. A lot of people don't have anybody in their life to fight for. And if you don't, reach out to somebody. Reach out to me if you have to, because life's worth it
when you feel good. When you don't feel good and you feel like fucking crap all the time and you hurt and you're in pain 24/7, I can understand a lot of people not wanting to try. I can. But it's been worth it for me